Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Jeff again with some horseback wisdom. I wanted to talk to you about something real quick related to the economy. Dr. Larry Summers, who was Bill Clinton's Treasury Secretary, a brilliant man, has kind of been saying the same stuff I've been saying, or you could go the other way around, for a couple years now. You can go back and watch my old videos about telling you what's coming, and it's because we've been through it before. Anyway, he came out today and said, we are now going to enter into something called stagflation. And we had that when I was a kid, where inflation is huge, wages are stagnant, and people are just suffering. There's a big lack of fuel. So, anyway, what's the whole point of telling you that? In the book of Matthew, chapter 25, Jesus talks about when things are wrapping up in the world, what is an example of what it might be like. And he said, the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 bridesmaids who took their lamps and went to meet the bridegroom. Now, in that day, there wasn't electricity. So if there was a wedding party, bridesmaids would go out at night and with lamps filled with oil and welcome in the bridegroom, who would go to a different place than the bride because he wasn't allowed to see her until the wedding day. So 5 of them were foolish and 5 were wise. The 5 who were foolish didn't bring enough olive oil for their lamps, but the other 5 were wise enough to take along some extra oil. Then when the bridegroom was delayed, they all became drowsy and fell asleep. Normal. At midnight, they were all roused by a shout. Look, the bridegroom is coming. Come out and meet him. So all of the bridesmaids got up and lit their lamps. And then the 5 foolish ones asked the others, please give us some of your oil because our lamps are burning out, because the bridegroom was delayed, which is why they all fell asleep. But the wise bridesmaids replied, we don't have enough for all of us, so you guys go to a shop and buy some for yourselves. In other words, they weren't prepared. But while they were gone away to buy the oil, the bridegroom arrived. Then those bridesmaids who were ready went in with him to the wedding feast, and then the door was locked. And later the other 5 bridesmaids came back after they had gotten new oil, and they stood outside calling, Lord, Lord, open the door for us. But he called back, believe me, I don't know you. And so you too must keep watch, for you do not know the day or hour of my return. So Jesus said we need to be prepared at all times for his return. And that's just wisdom, right? But we also need to be prepared for what's going on around us. So quickly, what can we do? We're going to have stagflation. Well, when I was a kid, there was a lack of food in grocery stores. I remember sitting for 8 hours one time with my mom in a car, just waiting in this huge line to try to get a little bit of gas for her car. So when you go to the grocery store, buy a couple extra cans of beans, an extra box of macaroni and cheese. Not a whole lot. You're not freaking out. Don't buy 27 cases of toilet paper like people did during COVID. Buy some extra spaghetti sauce. If you have a yard or a place, start growing some stuff. Cucumbers can grow anywhere. Grow cucumbers just to have some extra food. If you live in an apartment, I have a child who lives in New York City. I told her, when you guys go to the store, get an extra gallon of bottled water every time you go. It's a couple bucks. Store it in your closet. Why? If there's a problem with power and you don't have water, well, now you got clean water. Buy a water filter system. You can get a real cheap, small one off Amazon that'll filter 100,000 gallons of water. Just do little stuff like that, incremental now, because I'm just telling you, it's fixing to get ugly. And that's not some kind of dire, horrible prediction. That's just life. So be wise, be a wise bridegroom, and make sure you got oil in your lamp, which means be ready for Jesus to come back, be filled with the Holy Spirit, and share the good news with other people. Love you, and be blessed.